Tackle for Tackle Shop Confessions. We are live here this evening, and it is great to be with you all. And it's also great that the Orange County Fair is over with. Sam's taking care of a few customers right now. Zach and his lovely fiance are here, and Zach, of course, shows up in the chat all the time, so it's really nice to see him here. Christian and Sebastian, they're here also tonight from over there at SpaceX. They get me, hey, I got my SpaceX shirt on tonight, Occupy Mars, man. So always good to see them. And of course, Mackie and Blake and everybody else who makes Tackle Shop Confessions so great. Peter's in the back doing reel repair. And I'm the warm-up act tonight. I'll be warming you up just for a little bit until Sam De La Torre joins us. Actually, a man with the answers instead of me just BSing my way through this. Hey, I've got to start right now. I just put up a short a moment ago. 21 anglers on board the Mirage today. They get good weather back. 71 halibut. It can't get any better. And I know Sam is going to be over here in a second saying, whoa, just another huge score. And really, they've had some windy weather up there, which made fishing a little bit more difficult. But you give those guys some good weather. And here we are in August, and you really shouldn't be making catches on halibut and or white sea bass like this late in the summer. And it just never lets up. There's still plenty of squid around. In fact, you'll see all the light boats, the commercial squid light boats turning their lights on the beach up there right now. So there's an adequate amount of squid. And if I take you back to your high school biology, you know, the big ones do come out to eat the little ones. And that squid is such a magnet, as evidenced by that great catch on the Mirage. I don't think that's the end of it. I think as long as we can keep some good weather, we're going to see more catches like that. And probably we're going to see some white sea bass here really, really soon. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button. Share these videos. Not just with a friend, share them everywhere. And please remember to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, smelly little bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. And you can also follow us on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Woo! Sam, the freaking fair is over. What are you doing down there so low, huh?
I don't know. This is where you guys set up my chair.
Yeah, you like that? I want to feel dominant. That's no good. Now you're
I'll stand up in a minute.
Yeah, I know, really. Then I'll have to stand. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
How's everything?
Show's over. Fair's over.
Yes. I let out a scream in front of everybody at 9:30 last
Really?
night when I went. Yeah! I was so thrilled.
Was it packed to the very end?
Yeah, it was Saturday. It was completely sold out. Never stopped. Just
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I'll say it. One of the supervisors walked over to me and looked at me and said, "Hey, good job yesterday." And I go, "Okay, thank you." And she goes, "You sold $10,000 worth of beer." And I
Jeez.
go, "Oh, okay." And I'm just thinking, well, 10,000, all I need is a small fraction of tips on that, and
How many
I'll be
beers
good.
is that? It's like
I have no idea. I don't know if
60
she meant that whole booth or
like 60 beers or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like $10,000 worth of beers, like 4 beers. nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. Costs are high, but that was a lot of fun, I have to admit. And
Give me a little phone stand there.
I'm already saying, maybe I'll do it next year again after I've sworn that I'll never ever do it
Why
again.
wouldn't you do it? It's just because it's tiring.
Yeah, just trying to juggle both these things is, but don't let me whine anymore. I mean, people are sick and people, stop. I'm not going to whine. I'm probably going to be back. And I got to see, like Jeff Marklin, I saw you and your family, which was great. I saw these guys right here sitting out here, Zach and his lovely fiance. So it was great, man. It was a lot of fun.
Well, you're probably thinking that, you have so many things to whine about. What's one more thing?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna feel the need to whine about that too. So you got to do it next year.
I'll figure something out to whine,
Yeah.
I'll whine to my wife tomorrow in Spanish. Date day tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Did you hear what I said about the Mirage a second ago?
Yes.
Jeez.
That's so crazy.
Man.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what the number is anymore of what is considered impressive.
Yeah, right.
What's that number anymore? Right?
I don't
Especially
know.
for halibut, yeah.
I hate to say it's like 100.
Like 50, 50 halibut.
Yeah.
I only got like 46.
Yeah, not too good.
Yeah, just 2 around.
Jeez.
It's like,
Yeah,
I mean, they're rounding them up for sure. I mean, whatever it is that is causing this, who knows? You know,
We'll take it,
this
whatever it is.
bluefin, whatever caused that, the sand bass, whatever caused that. I mean, yeah, we're in some pretty good fishing. Those guys
man.
up there, you know, I'm sure you talk to them all the time. I mean, you know, what are their comments as to kind of, you know, how good it, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're thinking like any day now this is going to go away.
Yeah, right.
You know, because you
normally it
can't count on
would
this.
be.
I'm sure they get guys all the time calling and say, well, I'm going to come in September. Do you think there'll be some halibut then? It's like, I guess.
Maybe.
I mean, but never, ever in the history of their fishing, they could have ever said that.
No.
Never
No.
to say like, oh yeah, come down, get some, you know, you get a couple halibut, maybe a sea bass, maybe a yellowtail. I mean, now it's, granted, it's not going to be every trip.
Right.
It's not going to be every trip, but the amount of trips that has happened, your chances are pretty good.
Yeah.
If you go up there.
Yeah,
to
100%.
catch your illegal halibut. So
By the
that's
way,
pretty cool.
Island Spirit Halibut Only Special on Wednesday. Join Captain Daniel Hottaway, www.venturasportfishing.com, 805-676-3474. And, you know, Sam, the prospects for the future, the immediate future as well as long-term, they're making tons of squid up there right now.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we really don't know, you know, this is something that nature is just kind of, it does what it does, right? You know, they were talking about all this small bluefin around. That's got to be something that just feels good for the future, right? You
Right,
know?
100%.
It seems like that's something that's been around through this cycle. In the beginning, there wasn't as much of it. It was kind of all big fish.
Yep.
You know, the boats were going out. I mean, they couldn't find anything less than 50 pounds, it seemed like, for a long, long time. But this small fish, to me, you know, just you think positive all the time, but that's probably something that kind of fish travels a long distance, like a salmon or something like that. It travels a long distance, and it's got some kind of homing beacon that they come back.
Yep.
You know, so to see all the small fish, even though I'm sure the guys going out right now fishing, they got visions of 100-pounders and they're catching these little 5-pounders maybe. But that being said, you know, for the future, you know, I think that bodes well as well. So.
Yeah. I spent about an hour talking to Mark Paisano Jr. before Danny's show down at 22nd Street.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me he sits up on the bank, Tanner Cortez, or, you know, and he's catching the big ones. And then he says he drives off the bank and he sees those little ones, just hundreds of them jumping out of the
Thousands.
water everywhere.
Yeah.
And he said, it's, you know, like you said, it bodes well for the future,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, these fish are reproducing here now.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't know if they are or they're not, but just the fact that the little ones are here, you know, they kind of like put that on their little mental GPS as to a place they got to come back sometime.
Yeah.
And so that to me is the real key. You know, whether they were born here or not, you know, I mean, it'd be kind of cool if they were, but I think you know, that would probably be the best thing because, you know, the idea behind spawning fish is the bigger fish spawn more, and so the chance at, you know, even bigger bluefin, which I'm not really sure if that would be even a thing that would be a big deal. I mean, obviously there'd be the guy who would want to go out there and catch a 500-pounder or something like that. That would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, more often than not, I hear guys, they're like, man, these 200-pounders, you know, what am I going to do with all this meat, you know?
Yeah, I know.
I think to me, like the 60 to 100-pound fish is excellent. Puts up a good fight. It's good to eat. Relatively, you know, catchable on medium-sized tackle, modern medium-sized tackle.
A little easier on the wallet for the processing.
Yeah, and also, too, like what you're going to bring home to actually consume. And even after a few trips, I would imagine even your neighbors and stuff, they're like, man, more bluefin?
Yeah, I know, right, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, whatever this means for the future, it does look good. I mean, but even down below, all of that yellowfin that was caught on the ridge and upper ridge and the places we were talking about earlier this year, we were talking about those places, and they're getting good tuna. The Alejos is starting to get good tuna again for a few years.
Catching some who out there now?
Well, a few years we wouldn't catch any tuna.
Yeah,
there.
that's
You know,
right.
there wasn't really a place you would go there only for wahoo and yellowtail. No tuna at all being caught for a few years, which was kind of weird too. I mean, it's like, you know, you talk to the long range captains that have been doing it for 40 years, and they're like, I don't know, they're just not here anymore. I mean, they've been here for 40 years, and all of a sudden they're not here anymore. I couldn't tell you why, and now they're back. So I mean, you know, this stuff moves around like that, and there's cycles, and no matter however you slice it, we're in a pretty dang good cycle.
Oh man,
you know, in the mid 2000s, it wasn't that good. You know, there wasn't any albacore, there wasn't any bluefin back then, there wasn't a whole lot much else. You know, cold weather years, you know, where we didn't catch, there's none of this halibut, none of the sea bass. It was tough. You'd go on a trip, and your target species was to limit out on calico bass, maybe catch a bonita or two. That was pretty much it. Maybe some barracuda. But nowadays, I mean, gosh, you know, the ability to catch, you know, what we used to call exotics is not exotic anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, you can leave your mic here. Sam's absolutely right. We're going to talk to him a little bit about the prospects for his trip coming up down to Cedros also, but the fact that we are catching so much white sea bass and halibut this late in the summer, normally you're going to get that kind of a bite from the spring to maybe July. Sea bass bite really good in July, but we're kind of entering into this La Nina cycle right now, which is cooler water. And cool water is not a bad thing. I mean, you look up in the Arctic, you can see how everything flourishes up there. There's so much life up there in that cold water. So that's not a bad thing. Kelp grows better in cold water. You just get different species. One of these days, maybe one of those long fin tuna are going to show up and start to bug us again. But for right now, we're seeing improved calico bass fishing, off the hook white sea bass and halibut fishing. I mean, it has been phenomenal. Guys, are you out of here? Yeah. Christian, Sebastian, thanks you guys. All right, thank you guys. All right, two really great guys, father and son.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just mentioning that, yeah, man, it has been absolutely sensational. What about your Cedros trip? When is that? September?
Yes, the first week of September.
Looking forward to that?
Yeah. I mean, there's actually a couple things I'm trying to line up to get out of here. I mean, there's even a possibility I may not make the trip. I don't know.
Yeah. Why?
But,
Too busy?
Yeah, busy, but we'll see. You know, I mean, right now I'm saying it that way, but once we get close, it's going to be like, oh, screw it, I'm going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
You want to read a couple comments
Sure,
here?
yeah.
All right, I'll catch up on some comments, and then we'll go from there. Chivo Robledo says, let's get this party started. Tyler Tanaka, what's up, Fried fam? Angle R, David Rosenthal, good evening, guys. Thanks for keeping me company on my drive home. Our pleasure. The Krinkovich wants to know, are you guys open?
We are.
There you are,
Yeah,
Mike.
we're open Monday.
Wait a minute. You better tell him you're closed. He might come down here.
Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. We're open.
There you are, Mike. You should know that. Good evening, Sam and Phil from Isaac. Anglar. Hey, Sam, have you seen the new Penn Fathom LP500 in person yet? If so, any thoughts on that reel?
Yeah, I did actually. Penn had an event for the dealers to kind of show off all the new stuff. And definitely that 500 Fathom was kind of the big deal at the show. They had some other stuff there that was really, really cool. But that 500, for our market, I think is going to make a big splash. Feels really good. It's got a brand new, it's got a lot of brand new stuff on there, but it's a bigger size. But it's a really big main gear. So that's one thing that stands out. I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's really prominent on that reel. So they've done some things to that reel to kind of make it fit what our market needs, but still kind of be unique in its own way. I think it's going to be a really, really nice reel. It feels like the 400 size, but just bigger, and it's a full 500 size. I mean, it's not a reel that's labeled 500, but it's kind of not as big as the other 500s. It's a full 500 size, kind of more closer to what the Tranks is and overall body size, I guess you would want to say. But you can feel the amount of aluminum in that thing. It's a sturdy feeling reel. I think it's going to be a big hit. The other thing too that I thought that was really cool is that they have another line of reels, and I'm trying to remember the name of them right now, but
you're getting old, Sam.
It's escaping me. But it's a lower price point reel that they're going to have available in a 300 and 400 size. I think those things are actually going to be really, really nice as well. But you can tell the difference. It doesn't feel as much metal. In fact, we did get in a couple of the new Abu Garcia Beast reels. So they've kind of separated. Abu Garcia's made low profile reels for a lot of years, and they've always had the saltwater side of that of those reels, which were called the Revo Beast. And the Beast reels have a little bit of a following. They've kind of come and gone with different versions and different eras that they've made them in, but generally they have a pretty good following, and the guys who fish them really like them. Well, they've separated that Beast part of that lineup, and it's now going to just be called Beast. So there'll be a Beast 400, Beast 300, Beast 200, and those are really nice. And they also feel super, super nice just because of the weight of them. I know that some guys are going to look at those reels and feel like they're maybe too heavy because they may be a little heavier than some of the other competitors, but the overall size and just the feel of them on a rod, they're really, really comfortable. So I'm actually, you know what? I think I got a couple back there. I'm going to go grab them.
All right,
Well,
Sam's going to run off and do that. While he does, I'll remind you all, we'll be on the air tomorrow morning with the morning briefing with all the very, very latest, man. The Mirage 71 halibut for 21, guys. We'll take a look at the Coronado Islands, which really has slowed down. I didn't get any scores out of there today, so maybe it came roaring back. But the fact that at the islands here recently, you've been able to catch bluefin tuna, you've been able to catch yellowtail, you've been able to catch barracuda, calico bass while on the anchor is really phenomenal. The last 48 hours, it was down. It's much slower fishing on the yellowtail. So the question that looms large right now is this the end of the bite? Have those yellowtail moved on? Or was it the weekend boat pressure that pushed that bite down? And my suspicion is that we'll see that rebound and bite again here before it's over. We've also had some white sea bass at the islands down there, something that rarely occurs, and I think an indicator of this cold water and this La Nina condition that we seem to be pointed toward. Biologists and weather people are saying that there's about a 70% chance that we're headed for a La Nina right now. So we're looking at a change in terms of what we've been catching and maybe an acceleration to more squid. I don't think it's possible to have more halibut, white sea bass, but God only knows. Once again, morning briefing tomorrow morning. I'll run that all down for you for sure. Mike Krinkovich is bugging me, Pedro. That's not nice of him about my whining tonight. All right, Mike, I'll stop. And I'll ask your question to Sam in a second. Daniel is with us, and Daniel works over there at Redondo Sportfishing. That is Sarge. It is always great to see you. David says, are the long-range guys getting any Wahoo yet, or is it a little early? David, they are getting some Wahoo. They haven't been catching a ton of them, but on the Royal Polaris and on the Independence, and I'm sure some other guys, they've been catching some quality big Wahoo. We ran some photos of them this morning on the morning briefing. We do long range every single morning also, so they've had some good stuff. You want to take over, Sam? And then we'll ask this question after you cover the reels.
So one of the things I like about them already is the boxes.
Yeah, they're cool.
Now you would think, okay, what's the big deal with that? Well, back in our backstock area there, all the boxes are black of every brand. So sometimes when you're looking for a reel,
oh shit,
you're like, oh man, I know that thing's back here somewhere, and it's staring you right in the face. And then after like 5 minutes of looking, you're like, oh man, it's right here, you know?
Yeah.
So these things are going to stand
easy
out.
to recognize.
Big silver lid, really, really cool. This is the 300 size here. This is the one that I'm pretty excited about. It's a super sturdy reel. It's made by Abu Garcia. It's a reel that I think it's, like I said, until you put it on a rod, it's hard to really feel the comfort level of it, but it has the two big knobs on it, which is really nice. I know some guys like a single power knob, which I actually don't mind a single power knob myself, but these things are large enough that I think it'll be good. And then this is I grabbed two 300s, huh? Jeez. Well, there's a 200 as well back there. It's a little smaller, but I grabbed two 300. But yeah, that's them right here.
What pound spectra are you putting on this 300?
Probably 30 pound.
Yeah. Probably
30 or 40 pound. And this would be fine for all that sea bass fishing, you know,
right.
On the flukes. Super big drag here. I mean, it's kind of hard to see on the camera. I should have brought another reel here to compare it, but a little bit bigger main gear than some of the other brands, which is going to house a little bit bigger drag. It's got 8-ball bearings. It's super, super smooth. From what I've understood in the presentation, this B series is pretty well sealed, so you should have a good long life and not have to worry so much about corrosion. It also has that magnetic cast control on the side, so that's another thing that people use quite a bit. Yeah. So yeah, all around well featured and just very sturdy. You know, I mean, it's kind of hard. Maybe I could weigh them, but you can feel it's got a little bit extra weight because everything on the body is made so that it doesn't twist. You know, you don't have, loss of drag because of the body twisting. So yeah, these things are real nice, real sturdy reels, and I think they're going to be good sellers. I think these guys are in that mid $300 range, something like that.
Oh, that's a good price, too.
Yeah, very similar to everything else out there.
And it's unbelievable. I mean, I still can't get over how small the reels that we fish, bigger sea bass and yellows and smaller tuna. You probably get away with that.
Yeah, 15, 20 pound yellowtail, no problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
Before, when I was growing up, I tried fishing for yellowtail this size. Usually I wasn't actually fishing for yellowtail, but fishing bass.
Yeah, you get bit by a
You
yellow.
get bit by yellow. You knew right away your reel would come back. It wouldn't work no more. But yeah, this is not going to have any problem doing that.
That is great. All right, very good. Hey, the sack, that's Isaac wants to know, Sam, have you tried the PE knot with the bobbin?
I haven't. I know it's a very popular knot for some jigging guys and just other guys who want to do like a really nice smooth connection. Sometimes they'll call it a PE bobbin knot or a PR bobbin knot, and it actually uses a bowstring style bobbin to do a finishing serve. So it makes it so that when it's going in and out of the guides and on and off the reel, it's really, really smooth. I haven't done it. I've done some serving, but more for hollow connections. I'm sure it's kind of similar to that, but not for what you're talking about.
All right, excellent. Robert Graver says, happy Tackle Shop Confessions Monday. He wants to know when we're coming back to the 805, and he wants me to bring you along.
What am I going to do there?
I don't know, man. Fish. I'm going to videotape you fishing. Hey, Robert, first day off of the fair tomorrow. I should place a call to Daniel Hadaway and organize that. I think I will do that. Thanks for pushing me in that direction. What's the hot Wahoo lure this year? David wants to know.
We haven't really had as much consistency on it to say. For the trolling, it's still going to be that Nomad DTX that's been year in, year out, the lure. They've actually done some improvements on it this year. They've come out with a DTX HD. They've always worked really, really well, but there was times where you had one jig that maybe wouldn't last as long as the others. Now, for me, you catch 2 Wahoo on it, 3 Wahoo, it's kind of paid for itself.
Yeah, right.
But I could understand, there's guys who have some old Marauders that maybe have caught 30, 40, 50 fish, and so it's not going to do that. The new one, though, is a much thicker body, a much thicker bill, and is made tougher. So from what I understand, the guys that had a chance to use it late last year when it first came out said it held up really well, and so that's probably where I would start with. They have a bunch of colors. Probably 40 colors or something like that. I don't know, maybe not that many, but they got a lot of colors. Most likely it's going to be your traditional pinks and purples, things like that people buy and get bit on. Although I've seen everything get bit, from natural mackerel color or sardine color. By and large, what guys are using is something bright with some pink in it or purple in it. That's going to be on your trolling. On your casting, once again, year after year, different groups, I think, are fans of different style of lures. So I'll get guys that come back after a trip and they're like, oh man, they were eating the green bomb. That's all they were eating. But then that's probably what everybody was throwing. You know?
Right.
And there's groups that go out there and they throw like a 6X Junior and they do really good on that. So to me, from what I've seen, I'm sure there are days when they prefer something. And I've seen it before, where they'll eat a bomb or they'll eat a raider or a jig or something like that. Or sometimes they'll eat bait only. I've been on those trips. Those are not my favorite because I want to catch them on a jig.
Yeah, for sure.
But I have been on trips where we caught 15 or 16 in a day, and probably 14 of them were on bait. So there are times when you're going to have to go to bait to get a bite. But pretty much you want to go down there kind of well equipped with some jigs and some bombs and some of those DTX HDs.
All right, good stuff. Mike Krinkovich is here, and of course he's trying to suck our audience over to the Dodger game. Says the Dodgers are up 2-0 against the Rockies. You probably want to know that anyway, though,
What'd you say? I was watching the Dodgers.
No. Robert Graber says him and his son will be on board the Island Spirit on Wednesday. Halibut or bust. That means I'll get some good content, Robert. Put the pressure on you, man. I need some video from that trip, and I wish you guys the very best of luck. The Cranker's back again with some more sage comments. This time, he says, yes, in a way, those 20 to 50-pound bluefin, still crazy fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that'd be a good size. I mean, I think they're catching them more to 2 to 5 pounds, maybe some of those schools.
There's a lot of little ones around.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody caught like a 200-pounder that had like a 10-pound bluefin in it.
Oh, heck yeah. You know that's going to happen for sure. All right, let's see. Stoked for Life. That's Charles. Charles, you're the best, man. Can't wait to do some more work with you. Hello, Phil. My guy, looking forward to the trip on the Dolphin on the 2nd of September. I will be there. I'm totally looking forward to that. Sage advice, cherish as the Cranker. Wharf is available at this time. No guarantees, kids. Do you get that?
No guarantees, man.
Do you understand that?
What is
you want to ask the
available?
8 ball.
It
What
says,
did you
Cherish
ask the
what is
able?
available at this time. I don't know. What'd you read?
I don't know what he's talking. Mike. Oh no, we can't joke about it. You
Yeah.
can't. No jokes about.
I don't
Never
know.
mind.
What's the problem? I don't see the problem.
Sage
Did you-
advice: cherish
What is available.
What is available at this time? No. Oh,
No,
I
give
get
it
it
to
now.
these kids, yeah.
Yes. We don't have to ask the 8-ball.
No.
I'm just really tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mike.
It was
I was about to
plain
make fun
English.
of you, Mike, and it was my fault.
Yeah.
And I deeply apologize. All right. Let's see. Sparky SCR. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this show.
That's Oscar.
Oscar, how long do you think this cycle will be in terms of having small chovies? So I know a guy who's into astrology, and I'm not talking about tarot cards and all that crap. I'm talking about the position of the planets and the effect it has.
Astronomy, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says 30 years.
30
he said the
years?
last time that Jupiter was on the backside of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They're all aligning exactly the same. We're going into a 30-year cool period.
Okay.
Incidentally, when the albacore were full speed. He went back, looked at the history.
Were they full speed for 30 years?
I don't know. He said it was really good albacore fishing through that period.
Well,
I'm sure.
it
there
was
some
good for a while. I
oh
mean,
my God! When we were I was growing up,
it wasn't really even a thing to wonder whether they were going to show up. It was about when.
yes.
And that was the big deal back then, was who was going to catch the first one. That was
Yep.
kind of a big deal. And there was, on the schedule, in January, there'd be scheduled trips for June, exploratory
Yep.
albacore on the schedule, written out a year in advance.
And guys would be signing
They'd
up.
be lined up.
You want to be the first guy
to be the first one. You know, in 2000, one of the last years that we caught
12
albacore,
maybe, yeah.
whenever that was, I was the first one to catch an albacore. that
Really?
year. Yeah. for the
Oh,
whole
that
fleet.
is cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was in the Royal Star, headed down in May, and I was trolling a Mean Joe Green feather, and I got one.
How exciting was that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time, I was like, oh man, just an albacore, but it was like the last one they caught.
That
So,
is
yeah.
bitch. How far down were you?
I don't know, 150 miles, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So I bet you remember this too. They used to catch them down by Guadalupe Island,
Uh-huh.
and then there was a theory that maybe those weren't the migratory fish; those were fish that took
Yeah.
up residence there. So there was always that whole mystery going on,
Yeah, I
which
know.
made it more fun, man.
I
It
guess
just-
there's a high spot on the weather side that a couple boats maybe did go over there and on some good weather and caught some fish, and so yeah, that was definitely a thing for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean-
And maybe that's where they're at now.
What's that?
Maybe that's where they're at now.
Maybe they're at the Guadalupe Island. Another gentleman coming in to watch our show live. Maybe not. Maybe he's coming in to get some fishing tackle. All right, let's see. Matthew Martin. Hey guys, great show. Sam, what's your favorite surface iron, and do you tie your knot on the weld or opposite side? Good question.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have one favorite surface iron. But generally, I would say a Salas 7X and a Tatty 45 are the two that I feel like I've had the most best memories with. Candy Bar 112 is another good one. There's so many. Even growing up, I mean, a killer jig, PJ5, EX7, both good jigs I've caught a lot of barracuda with. But I don't know if I have a favorite. I think that I'll go through cycles where I'll fish a certain style of jig, meaning a certain cut of a jig, and then after a few years I fish something else. Although the last couple of years we haven't had too much good surface iron fishing locally, but yeah, that's something that does happen. As far as where you tie, that used to not be a thing. I know that the guys over at Tatty talked about how if you tie your jig 90 degrees to the weld, it actually might impart a little bit extra action, which I can see the logic in that, and I think that that's probably true. I never did that growing up, never thought about it, but I will say after I heard those guys talk about it and just kind of looking at a jig, yeah, if you kind of, by design tie your line, 90 degrees to the weld, then the weld is always going to be basically hitting the jig inside the hole. Yeah, it can't help but to maybe cause some erratic action. So now I do that. I tie it 90 degrees.
And have you
to
noticed the
weld.
difference?
I don't know.
It's hard to
I mean,
tell,
it's
right?
hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some days you work at it, and if you're lucky if you catch one fish, and some days you can't do anything wrong. Nobody catches anything, and you catch four. So, there's still a lot of luck involved, and a lot of kind of just determination and just kind of stick-to-itiveness. I think that you have to believe that it's going to work, and I think if you believe it, then you stick with it. But yeah, I haven't noticed something like specific where That's maybe what I should do is just tie it one way, then tie it another.
Yeah, maybe, right?
But I'm so used to just kind of tying it on because I want to start fishing.
Yeah, right.
Not because I'm trying to study it, but I do know, or I should say, I do feel like it would make a difference. So that's the way I always tie it now.
All right, Jay Neal is a guy that we are thrilled to death to have here tonight on the channel. He's a brand new angler. He made his first fishing trip on a boat. It was the Sport King. He said the captain, Anthony Ortiz, Anthony I've known for many, many years, and the crew were amazing. They did such a great job. They're out of LA Harbor, sport fishing, everybody. He wants to know about a suggestion out of 22nd Street for a half-day boat. Well, they only have one, and it's a good one.
It's a good one.
A Monte Carlo. And
Yeah.
they do a great job. I saw their crew today when I was over there doing our earlier show, and you'll have fun with Brian Burrell and some of the other folks there. They are really great folks. Mike Krinkovich. Zach, did you bring a notepad and a pen with you? I want you to write. Well, all right, because I've never ever heard this before. Bottom line is, it's fishing, not catching. That's brilliant.
Yeah. I'm sure,
Mike,
did he come up
did you
with
get that down?
I got that.
All right,
Did
he's
he
got
come
it
up with
down.
that all on his own?
Mike, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
My God, profound.
Somebody should put that in a book.
Yeah, Mike, you're right. I have to get back at him because
Not when
his first thing
I will
was,
say not when I go.
I'm starting to go down the tubes early tonight, so let's go to Highliner O. I'll take a
Highliner,
full
yeah.
scoop. I'll take a full scoop of everything hanging on the shelves behind you. Question for Mr. 8 Ball. What are a couple of tried and true tricks how can I trick my wife into letting me go on the halibut special this Wednesday? Oh, shoot, I've got all those tricks.
Nice dinner.
Nice dinner,
Yeah.
some beautiful roses.
yeah, some flowers.
Make sure that you get one of your kids or your neighbor or somebody while you're out on the trip to deliver the roses or put them on the front porch and the chocolates and, just schmooze your way into this,
And if all
man.
fails, you must focus and ask again.
Focus and ask again. Just, groveling, getting down on your
Yeah.
hands and knees
Yeah.
and begging. That works all
And
the
ask
time.
again and again until you just say, okay, you can go.
Yeah, exactly.
It works for my kids.
Honey, I know you love halibut. This is going to be the freshest fish we could ever imagine. And we don't catch a halibut, I'm going to buy lobster on the way home
There you
for
go.
you. Or whatever it is you like, prime rib or anything else. Hey, I hope you get out on that trip. Jerry Velasquez. Hey, Jerry, what's happening? What's your favorite calico bass swim bait?
It's kind of hard to beat a 5-inch MC, paddle tail. We just started carrying the MCs. I'm so glad because, before I would buy them, different tackle shops whenever I was going to go fishing, and I'd buy a bunch to make sure I wouldn't run out. And now I could just come over to the rack here and grab them. So I'd say that's probably my number one swim bait, that 5-inch. It's so versatile. You can fish here at the islands, down at Cedros, so many different places along the coast. That's the one I'd be fishing. I know a lot of guys do like that 4-inch as well. That 4-inch is nice if you're maybe fishing inside the harbor or fishing the wall or something like that. Guys do like fishing that 4-inch. They also have a really nice 3-inch, although that's kind of more of a spotty type size. But I would say 4-inch and 5-inch MC paddle tail. You can't go wrong with that.
Thang Nguyen joins us. Thank you so much for being with us, and great question. Jerry, hello there. What do you guys recommend size for the accurate turn 2 for 40-pound to 50-pound? Or maybe I'll fish 65-pound also. Thank you.
So, if you were going to get one reel, I think the 500 would handle all of that. 40-pound, 50-pound. It'll take, I think, about 400 yards of 65-pound braid. And so that's plenty of line there. You could go to a bigger reel if you were going to, let's say, fish yo-yo. The bigger reel might give you a little bit more inches per crank if you're looking to do something like that for 50-pound. But I think the 500 size should do you just fine.
All right, good stuff. Jeff Lingle's watching. He's out on the water right now, Sam, probably down there about 170 miles is where he's been hanging, looking at a little bit of yellowfin, smaller fish. Also, a few Dorado down there and good bluefin tuna fishing. He had limits last night. He says, love those handles. They're great for sea bass and yellowtail.
Yeah, just how we're saying. This thing, like I said, usually I like one big power handle, but I don't know, there's something about the design here. I feel like either one that you grab has that power handle feel, so I really do like it.
All right, Raul Almaraz. Hey, Raul, great to have you here with us tonight. Sam, what you see rod would you recommend with the Abu Beast?
So this one I have here, this is the 300 size. So I'd probably be looking at either the 711 Heavy or one of their new 850 MHs. Those would be the two that I would recommend. And in fact, the H I fish all the time. Oh, here comes your buddy.
Oh my God, Leroy's here.
He's been asking
What?
for years
About what? To be on the show?
to come down. And he's
Leroy Janilowitz. Officer Leroy.
Officer
Janilowitz.
Leroy.
Man, we're all on live here, man.
Hey,
Come on in.
Hey, Leroy.
I forget buying anything.
Hey, Leroy. ask him if he's got a permit for the show.
Oh, yeah, I got a permit. Yeah.
There's a camera, Leroy.
I've got a
Say
permit.
hi.
Yeah, Leroy, put your head in there. There you go. There's a ton of people that know Leroy Janilowitz.
Tell people, yeah.
Great guy.
Not many people know my last name.
Well, now they do. Maybe you should put your face in there one more time.
Leroy J.
I got something for you.
He's got something for you.
I hope it's good.
He's going to serve you.
Oh, yeah. You got, what is it, a
like surf fishing?
subpoena?
Is it a subpoena?
What?
It's a warrant for you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, really.
For your arrest for not calling me back.
I didn't get any message.
He's been waiting for 18 years.
What's he talking about?
Said he called you 18 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, he took my stepkids out in a police car when they just got here from Costa Rica.
Oh, you were talking about that, yeah.
They had a great time with him. Okay, should we go back to the show? He doesn't. Is he armed? I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah, really. I got my pepper spray out in the car. Hey, Dan, can you run out there and? All right. So, did you handle Raul's question?
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Let's move on to Eclipso saying, checking in from the public library. That's a good place to be, fellas. The kids are working on their homework. That's awesome. I'm getting my tackle shop confessions fixed. Eclipso, come on, man. That is a beautiful thing. Got the kids in the library studying hard, and then you're watching us. That's great. What library are you in, man? Chivo Robledo. Hey, Phil, do something on the Island Spirit, September 12th, my wife's family reunion up in Santa Barbara. I need a reason to get away. Hey, Chivo, the 12th, send me a text and let me know. What, are you going to say something? Yeah, are we going to mic him up or? Oh,
I have something for you.
all right, hold on. You're not going to kiss me or anything, are you?
How many years have I known you?
500 and, I don't know, how, I think you've known me for what, 50 years? No.
At least.
Yeah, something like that, right?
We used to hang out at your place, Monday Night Football. You were the best cook.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Man, I love you, Leroy.
I want you to use this in a surf.
Yes.
Put a long shank hook in it.
Okay.
Corbina, that is a killer.
Is this honey badger or who is it? What is this?
No, it's Leroy's special sauce.
You made these?
Well, we sort of got them for a good price. I want you to try it in the surf
Okay.
for
Corvina? Oh, perch.
Perch, Corbina.
Okay.
Put a little long shank hook in it, small hook,
All right.
and put a little split shot on the front. So you cast it.
Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That is a secret magic thing right there.
All right. I am not going to lose it. Jack's got his eye on it, but he's not getting it.
No. I give these to kids all the time to come in here, and they come back. I got a spotty this big.
Oh, really?
I'm going, dude, that's a world record. What'd you do with that? I threw it back. That thing was like 6-7 pound spotty.
Oh, my God.
Right up the docks out here.
That is awesome. I love it.
Right up the docks in 22nd Street.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
About a 6 pound.
Michael Limo will use this, right, Dan?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He's over there at 22nd all the time with us.
That's a killer.
Leroy, thank you, and thank you for making your debut. Carson Sheriff, Leroy Janilowitz, right here.
You dog.
Man, you're. I just took your microphone off. I wasn't doing anything else to you.
Okay.
Leroy, thank you so much.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. It's good to see you, my friend. Oh, yes. What does the 8-ball say about Leroy giving me a gift? Can't say now.
Can't say it.
No, there you go.
Even if
That
I
was
wanted
a
to.
surprise, let me tell you. There we go.
We did. That was revealing for sure.
Yeah, did you plan this whole surprise
did
for me?
not, no.
Oh, no, you didn't? Why not? All right, that was excellent. Leroy Janelowitz. Leroy is part of our studio audience now.
You're out of control, Phil.
I'm out of control,
Out of
as
control.
always, man. What can I tell you? All right, let's see. I think we left off with Chivo, and hey, Chivo, I'll work on that. Sparky SCR says Dodgers suck, go Angels. That guy, I think it's you, right? On the morning briefing when the Angels swept again, he was like putting, where's Sam when I need him?
yeah.
Oh, you saw that? All right, there you are. Yeah, so, yeah, he's on you about that. First last, evening, gents. In regards to how high the break point of braid can be compared to mono, what advantages are there of going to 50-pound plus braid when most compact reels max out at 30 pounds of drag? That's an excellent question.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's kind of been the controversy over the years, right? Why is anybody using anything heavier than that? And whether or not it breaks at the marked size or not, and how much pressure you're putting on a fish, you also have to realize that it's not constant pressure. It isn't like when we're, let's say, hanging something off a weight and we're adding like an ounce at a time. There's going to be a dynamic amount of pressure. So even though the reel might only produce 30 pounds of drag, even so, a lot of reels would produce a little bit more, but let's just say 30 would be an average. Even if it did do 30, you might have a situation in which a fish has slack on the line and then it takes off and then it's going to produce more pressure. That amount of pressure, which we call shock, is kind of an unknown amount. With shock, I've seen actually just despooling a reel where it'll have like a backlash in it, and it's 80-pound braid, and it's we're just going really fast, we're super busy, and we're taking the line off, and I've broken it, broken 80-pound braid, and it isn't that it was I was holding back 80 pounds worth of it, but the shock of the speed of it going that fast is what for a split second it created that. So that's the one thing you don't have shock absorption with braid like you do with mono. And so even though sometimes when people will speak of that, the mono kind of absorbing some of that, I've broken 50-pound plenty of times, even 65, and I've broken it not by pulling on it in a static way, but let's say I'm fly lining or something like that, I get bit. It feels like it's taking line off it is taking line off your reel, but that braid isn't going in a perfectly straight line right to the fish. There's going to be a little bit of a bow in the line before you get straight, and once it kind of snaps to a straight line, that's when that shock is going to be created, and that's where I've seen the line break. So that's pretty much the reason why. Also, too, it's not as abrasion resistant as maybe a monofilament or a fluorocarbon leader would be as well. So if that thing under high tension rubs across the boat or the anchor line or another line, you're also going to find that maybe doesn't hold up as good as we want it to. So yeah, I mean, some of this stuff, theory, yeah, it in a lab might work out, but in the real world, as far as what you might be putting it through, sometimes other things, other factors, other variables become involved that we kind of want to have that extra braking strength to overcome that.
Excellent answer to an excellent question. Tyler Tanaka says, I hope the Padres fanboys are crying in their menudo after the Dodgers 3-zip sweep. Eclipso Sam, what rod are we using to get an anchovy away from the boat when fishing 60-pound fly line for bluefin tuna?
So yeah, the rod's not going to do anything for you there, to be honest with you. Any rod that is appropriate for fishing 60-pound test, it's not going to bend at the tip. You'd have to have a rod that's super long to be able to still have flexibility in the tip and then enough backbone towards the reel to really be able to fish 60 pounds. So that's not what we're going to do. You're not going to fish a 20-foot rod or something like that. But a normal 6.5 or 7.5 to 8 foot, 60-pound rod is going to be stiff. So there really isn't going to be a finesse 60-pound rod that's going to bend to an anchovy when you go to cast. That being said, typically when you're fishing bluefin, you're in deep water offshore on a drift. So you're going to really have to rely on the drift and also maybe your ability to cast that anchovy with a large reel. And it can be done. It can be done. It takes a little bit more skill, a little bit more practice. You're going to have to start that spool off and get it turning before the bait does, and to get that line coming off your reel. And you're not going to cast it as far as a sardine for sure, but you should be able to get it out away from the boat with a little bit of practice. The rod, as far as in this case, it's not the same as like when you're fishing 20-pound test at Catalina. You're just not going to have a rod that has a light tip like that. So when you're fishing 60-pound, you want to kind of just remove that variable from your rod selection and just go with just straight power. You want to have the rod that can fish 60-pound and pull that hard.
All right, another big raffle in 2 weeks, I think, maybe 3 weeks. Chuck Zimmer told me today, and I promptly forgot. But coming up, another big raffle here on Tackle Shop Confessions. Live Free, Die Free drops in to say, evening, young men. Great to have you with us, as always. Eclipso says, don't ask that damn 8-ball for anything. That thing said I was going to win the raffle on Friday, and I got stiffed. Whoever bought the 8-ball should get their money back. All right, we like the 8-ball, man. He was thinking positively for you. The Cranker says, why not albacore?
Why not?
Why not? Very good.
This is why not.
It's fishing, not catching. That's why. Not. Albi. Oh, whoa. Where'd you get that?
From my old tackle box.
That's pretty cool,
I was
man.
sitting on my garage.
I like that. Albies. David says, when I was a kid, I remember getting my first albacore on anchovies. I was 13 fishing on the Prowler. That was 1984. We learned to cast a bait with a clothespin.
And back then with older reels, with full of mono, 25-pound test, it can be done. It's something that obviously, if you have the room to do it, you should try to practice. One of the ways that I was taught actually was taking a small plastic, something like this guy here. We're kind of making for. This is an old AA albacore specialist that Channel Island Chovy, but you take something like this or even smaller than this and put your hook through that and then cast that, something that's going to represent a small bait, but a little small 3-inch swim bait, or maybe one of these guys here. Put that on your hook.
Leroy Janelowitz jig. Yes.
Yeah, you put that on your hook and cast that. If you do it for a good 25, 30 minutes, you'll kind of get the hang of it. You'll kind of know what I'm talking about, where your release point is way earlier, where right now your release point is based on where you want that sardine to go. You don't want it to go too high up in the air, or you don't want it to slap down under the water. So you kind of have it, at about a 45 degree, so that your launch angle is kind of in that way. With an anchovy, you're releasing it way ahead, almost to the point where you don't even have your finger or your thumb on the spool. You're going to be letting it go way back here, because as you start, that anchovy is going to start falling. That's when you start your pendulum cast, and the spool is already turning because it's pulling line off the reel. There's a little bit of kind of gray math to that, because there's some anchovies are bigger than others, but that's the general idea, is that with those really small pinheads, they are castable, but you really have to start the spool turning before you start your cast.
All right. You know what the most interesting part of that question is in my brain? What age do you think is the cutoff for somebody who knows what the hell a clothespin is? You think Michael Levon knows what one is?
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way, right?
No.
Oh, he doesn't know what a clothespin is.
I would say 20.
You guys know what a clothespin, right? Okay.
Yeah, I just made that cutoff.
Pedro, I know he
Yeah,
does.
I would say 25.
Probably, right?
Yeah, I would think, yeah.
They're like, what the hell's a clothespin?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Sparky is back with us. What would be the proper tipping manner on 2-day, 3-day, 8-day? 20%.
Yeah, that's pretty average. Whether you're on a half-day boat or on a 15-day trip, is just like you would in a restaurant. So you make that your rule. People will kind of average it. If the ticket price is $800, it's really easy. But sometimes it's $835 or whatever. And so you take an average amount and kind of like level it out and make it an even amount. But yeah, 20% is pretty average.
And when you look at these long range boats, like I'm on the Independence, you got basically like 9 people at your service at any point in time. So when you give them $20 a day, it's $2 per guy is all. So you got to factor in, there's a big crew and they're there for you, man.
Right.
The service is so good. All right, Tommy Alexander says he wants to know, in terms of the length of the rod, what's the best rod he should get for tuna? Thank you, Tommy. I don't know if we've seen you here before. Welcome.
Yeah, Tommy, it really kind of depends on what kind of tuna you're fishing. This small fish that we talked at the beginning of the show, this, 10 to 25 pound tuna, you could, most likely be able to do that fine on any rod that's from 7 to 9 foot. Really no length restrictions. Once you start getting into that big tuna, I would say 60 to 80 pounds on up. You're really dealing with a rod that's less than 8 foot. More than likely a 7.5 foot rod. But I would say 7.5 is probably going to be your common length for anything bigger. You get into that 100 to 100 pound plus, you're going to be at probably 7.5 foot.
Rick L., welcome to the show, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Gentlemen, can you recommend a reel to pair with my United Composite 50 to 100 pound for tuna?
Yeah, so those rods are pretty versatile, depending on which part of the range you want to go. But real common on those is going to be, either like your Talica 16, Talica 12, that kind of mid-size reel, either that one or you have your Fathom or Torque 25 or 30. Real common as well. Although some guys will fish a bigger reel, depending on which one you have. If you have one of those GPs, like a Predator or something like that, you could even fish a larger reel, like maybe like a Torque 40 narrow. There's a lot of good reels. I mean, you have stuff like Mycara 15T would be good as well. But you're looking in that kind of middle to middle big as far as your size of reel.
All right, Rick, thank you so much. Sosa is with us. I don't know if that's Susan Sosa. I don't think so, but welcome, my friends. Should I be changing the hooks out and rings on 80 to 100 gram Zacanas? And if so, what hooks? Also, singles versus trebles versus assists. What do you say, Sam?
So it really kind of depends on what size line you're using. Sometimes people will look at those jigs and say, well, these hooks aren't big enough. Well, if you're using 25 pound, you'd be no problem if you're catching like yellowtail or something like that. If you're using them to target tuna and you're using heavy line like 60 pound or 80 pound test, definitely going to change your split rings and your treble hooks. As far as your treble hooks, or as far as what kind of hook, I definitely would recommend trebles in a size 1.0 for those 80 to 100, possibly even a 2.0 for that 100. I like using a 2.0, a little bit bigger size. And I think that the rings are going to be like a size 7 Ultra that would fit that jig.
All right, great stuff. Really great questions, everybody. Tommy Alexander's back, and he said, how much line do I want to have on my reel to fish for bluefin?
Yeah, we had that conversation earlier today with the customer, and you don't really need more than like 300 yards of line. Usually that's gonna take care of it just fine. Obviously, you don't know, what you're gonna encounter. When we're talking about this tuna fishing, especially bigger tuna, I mean, you might hook a 50 pounder or a 250 pounder, and that's about the range of possibilities. And it's not uncommon, if somebody caught, if a boat came back with 5 250 pounders, it wouldn't even make the front page of news.
I know.
It's not uncommon. It can happen, and it's something that is definitely possible. It's not by the odds. Yeah, I mean, it isn't like every boat's catching that. But that being said, you just never know. So as far as how much line you want on your reel, especially when we're talking about nighttime reels, like your nighttime jigging reels, I would say 450 yards is probably about the minimum. And it's not so much that the fish is going to take that much line, but at night especially, it's very common to have on a boat 10 to 12 guys hooked up on 100 pound plus tuna. And what that results in, more often than not, is some pretty bad tangles. And those tangles sometimes will require you to cut off some line. And that you might lose 20 feet of line or 120 yards of line. And so you want to include on your reel as much line as you can. Part of that is also to kind of make sure that if you do get into a bad tangle, you can just tell the crew member, man, just cut me off and let me start over. Because sometimes they'll try to work through that tangle, and by the time they get it done, you're going to be in a situation in which that bite's over. So I would say 450 yards minimum, 550 yards, something like that would be about what I would want to have.
All right, very good. Let's see. Kim Herbert is joining us from the great state of Missouri. He's going to Cedros on the horizon, Sam, in October. What should his daughter and him expect? It's been a little weird at Cedros this year, right?
I mean, expect the unexpected. You just never know, right? I mean, Cedros fishing in general, through their season that they fish all the way from May till October. I would say at any point down there, anything can happen, right? You're going to probably catch some yellowtail. This year has been different. The yellowtail fishing hasn't been wide open. We're normally, you leave at 6 in the morning, your fishing day.
And you're begging the captain to take you back because you caught 100 yellowtail.
Well, yeah, by like 7 o'clock, you might have already caught a limit. It can be that fast and furious. This year, maybe till like 9 o'clock. It might take to catch
It's
a limit.
still good.
Still really, really good. But, one of the things that's nice about Cedros is it's kind of an a la carte style fishing. You tell the captain, no, you know what, I don't want to catch yellowtail today. I want to catch some halibut. So they'll go to the halibut spot, And the halibut fishing's been good. Sea bass fishing, same thing. They go to the sea bass spot. Sea bass fishing's been good. So when I go, I definitely go down there. My first priority is to do some surface iron fishing. To me, it's been the best surface iron fishing. Even before I did the fly down trip, even when I was going down there on the long range trips, I loved going down there because the surface iron fishing was so good. And the yellowtail it's the perfect species for that. So that was always my priority. It still is till today. But I do, try to take some time out, meaning that, get away from the yellowtail fishing a little bit and target my take-home fish. So I don't bring any yellowtail home if I don't have to from Cedros, mainly because I do a longer trip after that, in which I know I'm going to probably bring some yellowtail home. So I just keep that. At Cedros, I try to, prepare for bringing home like some halibut, white sea bass, maybe black sea bass, pinto bass, even calico bass. You can only bring so much home anyway, and so I try to bring home kind of like that better take-home fish. So that's kind of how I'll structure my trip, is that we'll do some yellowtail fishing, but we will break off one day and then go fish some calico bass as well. So as far as you guys are concerned, I mean, gosh, it's really whatever you want to do. If you want to troll and catch yellowtail, I think you can do that. Now in October, you also have the possibility of tuna fishing and dorado fishing down there too. So, I mean, October, I think you're going to have the most chance of the most variety. Everything from a halibut, white sea bass, yellowtail, sheephead, tuna, dorado. I mean, all species. And it's not uncommon for them to even catch a wahoo over there too. I mean, I don't know if it would be like that this year with the colder water, but it has happened where they have caught some. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless in October.
All right, great stuff. Yeah, we wish you the best of luck, Kim. Hope you really get him on that trip. Jeff Lingle says that Officer Leroy, has a no-knock warrant for me. Maybe he does.
I got a question.
Yes, he has a question. We'll repeat it. Go ahead, sir.
Tipping the long range guys.
Tipping the long-range guys?
I get on the boat. I get every deckhand a $50 tip.
Right when you get on the boat.
That way, they treat you good through the trip.
There you are.
And at the end of the trip, I tip them good too. At the end of the trip.
So that's a pretty good tip. So Leroy, what he does.
If I win a jackpot, guess what?
So what Leroy does, which is not a bad plan, is that he goes on the boat knowing how much he's going to tip. So let's just say it's $200 a person. I don't know, something like that, right?
I always tip.
So what he does is that when he gets right on the boat, as soon as he gets on the boat, he's putting his tackle away. The crew members are going around making sure that you're taken care of, and sir, when you need something, how can I help you out? You need do this. What he does is he takes it upon himself and reaches every crew member, captain, cook, cook's assistant,
everybody,
the engineer.
Yeah, the girl that did his pillows in the bunk room.
Yeah, the people who put the new linens inside.
Right.
The guys who got off the boat, maybe the boat next to him.
Right, the passengers. He gives every one of those guys $50.
He gives everybody $50. And what that does is it kind of gives them priority service the whole trip.
I actually know a lawyer who walks on our Island Spirit trip and walks up and gives a $100 bill to. And he says,
there.
man, they take good care of me the rest of the time. So, Leroy, excellent tip. Please continue.
This guy just got off the outer limits.
Got off the outer limits.
Got off the outer limits.
He walked on the boat.
Dan, are you listening?
Yesterday.
He did it yesterday. He got off the boat yesterday.
Okay.
They got a handful of bluefin.
Okay. A couple bluefin.
That's 5, I think.
Yeah.
And they went to San Clemente, got a ton of calico bass and a couple of yellowtail about that big.
So it was a fish report he's given us here. He talked to a customer today.
And
It was a buddy who got off of the, what boat was it again?
It was a Tornado. He had a nice score recently.
my friend walked up to one deckhand, he gave him a $100 tip, $100.
So he said his
There you
buddy
are.
gave him a $100 tip.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
He treated him like a king.
What boat was it?
It was on the,
They tie my hooks, tie my knots, whatever. They
Yeah.
do it.
That's it.
was it on the SS Minnow?
Money can get you anything in this
Yes,
world.
yes,
you
it
know,
can.
hey, Leroy, great tips. We appreciate it. Hope you're all listening out
Change
there.
our show to 5 o'clock next week.
It's like, my motto is tip what you can.
Excellent. Tip Pedro, remember that.
Tip when you can, yeah.
Actually, you probably should tip Sam and I tonight for doing such a great show.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
I mean, come on, you tip everybody all the time.
The last thing you want to do is break a streak. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to screw that up. What's the 8 Ball say about tipping Sam and Phil tonight?
It says, looks like yes.
There it is. Shit,
Oh,
we're
actually,
in.
it says absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Boom. Man, we're doing it. Finally, we're going to make some money at this. Huh? Oh, my God. All right, we're going to move on.
I knew you
to-
would like Leroy.
Yeah. Thank you for arranging that. I appreciate it. Tommy Alexander, I think we covered Kim. Yes, Jeff Lingle. Robert Graber says, hey, Phil, did you know the last 4 digits of Ventura Sportfishing, 3474, spells fish? Yes, I did know that. Reggie Wynn, who's
Hey,
a
Reggie.
fantastic human being. Hola, amigos. Happy Monday. Fresh out of thyroid removal surgery. Reggie, we hope you're doing well. Now time to rehab and get back on the water. Keep up the great work, Phil and Sam. Reggie, thank you so much for taking the time, and you are in our thoughts and prayers. You are a fantastic person, a great human being, and we hope you recover rapidly. That is for sure. Robert Graber sends his best. Godspeed in recovery, Reggie. Jason, also known, a.k.a. as Manila Ice Cream. Good evening, everybody. Just checking in. Hey, Phil, what size tuna popper is that you carry around? I think it's a 155.
150.
150.
Yeah,
Okay. I think there's a 150 and a 155, but yeah, thank you, Sam.
Rattles in it.
Yes, it has rattles in it. Absolutely. Leroy Janelowitz with the rattle.
The Rattler.
Rattler.
Used to be called the Riddler. Now he's the Rattler.
This show is going down the tubes fast tonight. Uh-oh.
Highliner.
He's up. D-A.
Oh, dear. Dad's cool.
D-Z-K.
Dad's cool.
Dad's cool. Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. I have an Abbott HXW Raptor I plan on filling with 130-pound braid. Man, can you recommend a rail rod that will fish both 100 and 130-pound? Well, depending on the top shot I have on the reel. That is an excellent question, and Sam will undoubtedly have an excellent answer.
So the rods that I would recommend, there's quite a few out there, but anything that in which the top rating is going to be at like over 100 and where the bottom rating is under 100. So what that means is you're going to have lots of different models, different brands in which the ratings are very close, but maybe a little different. And so you might have an 80 to 130, 60 to 130, 50 to 120, something like in that range is what I would recommend. Now you want to make sure that is going to be the mono rating, not the braid rating. Sometimes some rods will have a braid rating. That's going to be a much higher number. Usually those rods will be something like 100 to 200 pound braid or something like that. And some it's kind of hard to measure it as far as mono ratings. But if you can look for a rod that has a mono rating in which the lower number is under 100 and the upper number is over 100. A good example would be
Thank you, Leroy.
like a CalStar 775 2XH, a United Composites Viper, a Seeker 2x4. Those would be 3 great rods that I would recommend.
All right. Leroy, do you like chicken wings?
He does.
Oh,
He loves
we're
chicken
really
wings.
in trouble there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like the ones over where we go.
Oh, thank God. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really work.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are hot.
Okay, very good. Highliner says, Phil, how much did your saltwater guide have to pay you to be on his show tomorrow? Tune in at noon tomorrow on your saltwater guide. I love being on with Dave Hansen.
gonna be on there tomorrow?
I'm going to be on there
Oh,
tomorrow
man,
at
I'm
12
gonna mess
noon
with
with
you guys.
Mike Folks. Yeah, you got it, man.
man.
Mike's going to be on there too, I guess. All right, Eric Hooya.
Like, whoa.
Eric whoa. Hey guys, what rod is best to pair with Alexa 400 as a first rod for my arsenal? What type, spec of rod would you set me up best for twilight bass fishing to overnight trips with that reel? Thank you.
You got it, man.
I almost
You
got through that.
Yeah, almost. I thought you were fading.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it.
So, Eric, on that rod there, an 8-foot rod is going to be something you're going to find a lot of different examples with. Something with a trigger. Most guys are going to fish a rod with a trigger rated 20 to 40 or 20 to 50. That's going to be your most basic, kind of recommendation. Although there are some rods out there from all the different major brands that are going to be also without a trigger, and they'd work just the same. So something 8-foot, 20 to 40, 20 to 50 is what I'd recommend.
All right, Raul wants to know, Sam, I just bought a Pentorque 25N SD. What UC rod would you pair it with?
Once again, there's definitely a couple different rods there from UC that would work just fine. That 800 Del Mar is one that kind of sticks out of my mind right away. and 800 a monster. You know, it really depends. That reel is very versatile. You could fish 20 pound on that reel or 50 pound on that reel. So, you know, it would depend on that as to which rod you were going to be fishing with, just to make sure you have it more lined up with the line size you're going to fish, not so much the reel. That reel can do so much. But in the other series too, the US, the RUS 80, I think it'd be the Towfish would be a good one, or Towfish Junior even, or the RGP 80 Mega would be another good one as well.
All right, Mike Krinkovich, who definitely knows what a clothespin is, says the 196.7 Squidder Junior newelled and 15-pound Andy Clear with a number 4 Mustad. Nuff said, baby.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You want to ask the 8-Ball what they think about that?
Well,
what it thinks about it? Or
yeah,
you want me to move on?
You can go on forever and ever about the old reels, and I think that they're kind of fun. I don't know if they're as effective. The new stuff has bigger drags, better bearings, free spools better. So I don't think you can do any better than a modern small reel.
There you are, Mike. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
Eclipso, casting anchovy on 60-pound. I've got it. Fly rods on sport boats. What could go wrong? Yeah, really. Nick Curcio used to get back there and do that once in a while, throw a flower. Yeah, he'd screw everybody up and get everybody going crazy. And Robert Graver's right. Pink Andy Cranker. Got to go with the pink. Mike Krinkovich, never pink. That was the original gimmick. Got to go. Mike's got to go.
We got some pink Andy right there.
Yeah, well, there you are. Mike, there you go. I think Mike's got to go, thank God. David, Pin Squidder and 20-pound Andy Pink. Chivo Robledo, my boss just sent me a text and told me to take tomorrow off. Woo. Who's fishing and on what boat? There you go. Island Spirit. I don't know if they're getting out tomorrow, but that's a good one to
right
fish
now,
on.
yeah.
Yeah. Steven, I am getting into slow jigging technique these days. What do you guys think of a new Okuma Tesoro 20 level drag? And what braid pound would you recommend? Thank you, Steven.
Not sure if you're talking about the 2000, the one that we were showing on the show the other day, but that's a great reel. I think that's a good one, especially for that more like the fast jigging for the tuna that a lot of guys are doing. 65-pound is kind of what would match up to that reel. It'd probably be the heaviest I'd put on there, but you can put even 50-pound on there. I know a lot of guys are going to put 50 or 65 on that reel. So that Okuma Tesoro 2000 is a really, really nice reel.
Manila Ice Cream. Jason says, Mr. Sam, quick question for you, sir. What size assist hooks for 300-gram jigs?
You know, that's a tough one, Manila. It depends on the jig itself. Some of those jigs in 300-gram might be really long or really short. And then the hook sizes too, you know, it isn't like there's a universal hook dimension that's going to be where the 3.0 is the same in every single brand. And sometimes even within the same brand, you might have a 4.0 hook that's the same size as a 9.0 in the same brand. So you want to go definitely with a little bit larger hook if it's a larger jig, and a smaller hook if it's a smaller jig. As a reference, I would say that the Mustad Ocean series, they have like a 9.0. That's really nice. But if you're going with the J Assist hooks, like a 4.0, which is their smallest one, would be good as well.
All right, very good. Hey, Jeff Lingo's joining us from out on the water. Sam, what brand of braid, in your opinion, untangles with fish on better than others?
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it depends on the tangle, I guess, man. I mean, that's a tough one. You know, I don't know if there is a better line that's going to untangle easier. I think you get into a tangled mess. Usually the problem is you get a couple of half hitches in there and it just cinches so tight you just can't get out from under it. That being said, you know, the bigger the line, the easier it is going to be to work with. If it's just kind of tangled in a twist where you can kind of get to it and see it and identify it a little bit faster. About the only thing that I could recommend is you want to fish the biggest line possible, and that way your line has a little bit more real estate to burn through before you get sawed off. So yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer for a line that gets untangled as easy.
No angles, no tangles.
No angles, no tangles.
No tangles.
Hey, get that notebook out again.
That's another one.
Zach.
Yeah.
No angles, thank you. He's got it down.
Wind
Leroy,
in your face.
You're in the right place.
You're in the right place.
Man,
Wind in your back.
Zach, get busy.
You got a dry sack.
There you are. Wind at your back, Leroy. You got a dry sack.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Mike Krinkovich is back. I spent a long time in my career working with braiders. Not the fishing line, but it's very impressive how the machines work. Take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
You got that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to write that down, Zach. Maybe, I don't know. He's also, Mike Krinkovich says, and Richard Hughes is in here, so we're going to get that thing going on between him and Richard Hughes, the author of the morning briefing song.
Oh, man.
Richard, you are something else, let me tell you. Mike says he worked on the Bunker Buster. He worked on that program also. He's open to fun stories. The Bunker Buster. All right, Tommy Alexander is going to bring us back down to earth, I hope. Thanks, Phil and Sam, for keeping us knowledgeable on the water. Not new here, just don't comment much. All right, Tommy, thank you for commenting tonight. We really appreciate it. Kim Herbert from the great state of Missouri once again. Will a Calcutta 400 be undersized for calicos and yellowtail ponga fishing?
Yeah, I definitely would call it undersized. Not necessarily for line capacity, but more drag capacity. Those reels, those old reels, I mean, they're great calico reels, no doubt about it. But, at the time when they were developed, they were the best reel you can buy for that kind of fishing. But that was a long time ago. Nowadays, actually, a reel like this is really more what I would recommend, whether it's this reel or a Lexa. And I have to make a correction. I know earlier I said these were 350, but they're 300. But a reel like this is really more what I would recommend. If you took that Calcutta 400, I mean, you're going to get kelped like every single fish really on yellowtail. And even half those bass might do that. Those bass are tough down there.
Yeah.
So you want to have something that has a little bit more drag and a little bit more line pickup. A modern low profile reel is what I'd recommend for that.
Do you see those bass with like more teeth and looked a
For
little
sure.
bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're different
their
there, right?
Teeth are bigger for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I went down there. I mean, I learned my lesson quick. I lipped about four, 5 in a row, and I was like, oh, man, that's just not how you're going to.
Bass them, right?
Yeah, right away. So, yeah, those things are tough down there.
All right, very good. Let's see, where are we here? Chewy. No SoCal. Hey, Chewy, great to have you. What's your thoughts, Sam, on the Avid HXW Raptor?
It's a great reel, yeah. I mean, it's probably one of the more overlooked reels. When guys are looking for a big tuna reel, a lot of times we are looking into the internationals, and those are great. The Macaira is awesome as well. But I know that the HXW Raptor is one that's a little bit overlooked. It's a little bit on the pricier side. It's not as cheap as maybe like a Speedmaster or a Fathom, but it's a great reel, all aluminum reel, and it's caught a lot of big fish.
All right, great stuff. Richard Hughes, the author of the Morning Briefing song, says, yeah, Mike, excuse me, stick that in your glass and drink it. All right, here we go. They're going to get at it here pretty soon. It's going to get out of control.
We have a question over there.
Oh, yes.
Wait in the third row back there.
Low maintenance.
What has low maintenance?
Avets. He said
Avets have low maintenance.
Pretty good. If you maintain them, they stay pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you maintain them, they stay pretty low. Thank you, Leroy. That was did you get that, Zach? Zach's got it. All right. And then Michael Krigovich says, I'm sticking to the landing.
He's sticking to the landing.
Hey, Mad Dog, Anthony. Man, we miss you here tonight, dude. What are you doing? He's driving home from the El Patron. He's on the El Patron on a regular basis, doing a great job out there. Anthony, good to have you with us. We miss you here tonight. What do you mean you're driving home? You should be driving right here. Eric says, evening, Friedman Adventures family from Eastern Arizona. Phil, I have developed a different style of Eddie Bum. I would like to send you guys to test for me if you're interested. 100%. Send them. I'll take Sam will take them. I'll take them. We'll give it a shot. We would love to do that, Eric. Please do, my friend. Sacco Hunt, I haven't seen you for a while. It's great to see you again. Please like the stream. 2 legends, always giving 100%. Hey, you're a legend.
Legend of what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're both legends in our own mind, as they say. Hey, thank you so much, Sacco Hunt. Chewy, SoCal, turn the handle, Randall.
That's another one. Yeah,
you got it, Zach?
Randall.
Turn the handle, Randall. Poor Zach. He came down here to enjoy himself. And
put him to work.
He's taking notes here the whole night, man. Zach, you can delete all those, by the way, at the end. Don't say anything. All right. We are back with Sparky, the guy that loves the Angels. What would you personally tie Braid to mono 130 pounds and up, TP, knot, or Bob Sands knot. Sam.
Oscar, you know I do a hollow slice on that big stuff, man. In fact, Oscar did a hollow slice for me on some 100-pound mono, and I got a 220-pound tuna.
No way.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I normally do. But that Tony Pena knot, I know a lot of boats, a lot of crew members are super hot on that knot. But that Bob Sands knot has been around for a long time. Bob Sands knot, RP knot, Albright knot, all the same thing. That also works really, really well. Although lately this PR knot some guys are doing, and also the what's the other knot? I can't remember it right now. It's got 2 letters.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'll remember it in a second. It's also a really good knot.
Yes, it has 2 letters.
Yeah.
Where's
In my mind, it's JP, but it's not JP. It's something else. Huh? FG, yeah.
FG?
Yeah, FG.
Hey!
Woo! FG knot. Now that knot,
It's not the FU knot.
No.
It's the FG knot,
Yeah.
Leroy.
yeah, that FG knot, I've seen it catch some big tuna down there at the lower banks, and I've seen it used by guys that are like super meticulous about what they do and how they set up their tackles. So, yeah, that FG knot's another good one too.
All right, excellent. Yes, sir. Leroy has a question.
Best knot I have,
Best knot you have?
Best knot.
the deckhand ties it for me.
The deckhand ties it after you tip him.
Yeah, it's the $50 knot.
The $50 knot,
The
it's
$50
called.
knot, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. You got it. All right.
Never cut, never breaks.
Mad Dog wants to know, I can handle this question.
Yeah.
He wants to know what the best jig for blue perch is. It's the Bucher Buster.
The Bucher.
Yes, the Bucher Buster. Check that out. Sam's getting some more in next week. Jeff Lingle says, go get some wings, guys. Phil, you need to catch up on some sleep. Is it that obvious, Jeff?
Yes.
My dinner time night, all Jeff. Good luck tonight on that BFT. I'm sure around 3 a.m. I'm going to get a message from you saying you have limits. At least that's my hope. I hope you get them down there tonight. Tyler Tanaka, don't leave fish to
another
find
one.
fish.
Yeah.
We should write these all down.
You should.
Well, Zach's doing that right there. Yeah. Zach, we love it, man. All right.
Kim.
Kim Herbert says braid tangles are better in white, vivid colors. It's easier at night for the deckhands.
That could be something, yeah, as far as getting line untangled.
Eclipso says 95 people watching and only 32 likes. Come on, guys and gals. Do better. Thank you, Eclipso. Gotta love the dog, says the cranker. Yes,
There's another one for Tyler.
absolutely.
Tyler's got another one.
Bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. Boy, these are just really freaking putting me to
Oh,
sleep.
he's got another one down there.
Okay.
coming up.
Let's go to Cargo 91, though, because I think he has an actual question. Cargo 91. Hello, Sam and Phil. Thank you for being here with us. I would like to put a power handle on my Penn Torque 40N. I like the ones from the jigging world. They make them for fathoms. Can it work on my Torque 40N?
Yeah.
Phil and Captain Tino.
It should work, no problem. They have the same shifting system. Now, if it's the old Fathom or the new Fathom, I think those might have a little bit of a different shifting system, so you might want to check on that. But you might also want to check on Tiburon. Tiburon just released a jigging length arm and handle for those Fathoms and Torques. And I think the way that he set up the holes in there, you can either put it on an old reel or a new reel. So check that one out as well. It's a really nice one. I'll probably go grab one here when we get finishing up.
No, please don't do that. Let's see. Tyler Tanaka says, big bait, big fish.
That's right.
There's another one. Well, we're going to have to wait for Sam. So I'll launch into unless Leroy wants to say something. Do you have any comment that you'd like to make that I can relay to our audience? That's perfect. So tomorrow morning, the morning briefing. Don't forget, we'll be on bright and early tomorrow morning. I should be able to get a good night's sleep tonight. I'm banking on it. Did you hear that latest
I
comment?
almost guarantee it.
Yes.
You're going to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, I think so. Tonight, I'm going to sleep well.
Hey, is yellowfin tuna at the Hurricane Bank
The elephant in at the Hurricane Bank
are the worst fighting tuna in the world.
are the worst fighting. That either means they fight really poorly or they what?
They beat you up.
They beat you
They
up.
beat you up.
Have you ever-
So this is the handle right here for your Fathom Torque right there. That's the one from Tiburon. Really, really nice handle. Yeah, Leroy is suggesting you do not fight a tuna when you're fishing at the Hurricane Bank. Don't fight them.
Yeah, you're standing again.
I know. We're almost done.
You don't fight them? What do? Give up?
Kiss them.
Cut them off?
I got a picture over here.
You write them a ticket, maybe.
Clear place jackpot.
Pepper spray them, man. So, or what's that? A stun gun.
That was the worst,
What about fish or cut bait? Fish or cut
most
bait?
horrible fight I ever had in my life.
Oh my God.
And he's had
he's had some good ones,
He's had some
man.
good ones.
Water temperature was 85.
He's fighting right now.
Yeah, I know. How about those kids that were jaywalking that you got with the Billy Club? That was a worst fight, I thought, wasn't it? All right, let's go back to the show for a moment. Any saltwater telescoping travel rods that you would recommend? And Highliner is the man who asked that question.
Not telescoping, but there is some multi-piece rods that are pretty good out there. Now, when you say saltwater, I don't know if you're talking about fishing the surf or trying to catch a 50-pound tuna, but if it's the latter, something that's a little heavier duty, Phoenix makes some, so does Okuma. They make some multi-piece travel rods that work really, really well.
All right, excellent. A lot of guys knew it was the FG knot before we knew it, Sam.
Yeah.
And who helped us on that? Zach. That's
Yep.
right. He came up with the answer. So that was Isaac knew that. Tyler says 100, or Sacco Hunt says Tyler 100%. The Cranker says yeah, and all that stuff. Go Sage Tyler.
That's right.
Yeah, Tyler Tanaka should have been here yesterday.
That's another good one.
I like should have been here tomorrow.
Should have been here
That's
tomorrow.
a better one. Matthew Tamayo, good evening. Is Tanner Cortez the zone for the LA fleet? There's been some guys out
Some
there.
guys,
There's guys on the Osborne Bank, which is near Santa Barbara Island. There's some other guys that are fishing down toward Ensenada. There's a lot. I mean, they're
Yeah.
catching fish up there in San Francisco now.
Yeah, that's what's pretty spread out at the moment. The big question really is trying to find catchable, taggable fish. You know, they are running into a lot of smaller fish, but even that's kind of a day-to-day thing. I know some of the guys today, private boaters, were catching some big tuna on the kite as well. So.
Yeah. And Max Nui the other night on the Pacific Voyager got into a night bite, and it was straight 60 to 180 pound fish.
There you go.
So he had excellent fishing on big grade fish. That's good stuff. Wayne Perry knew it was an FG. Thank you, Wayne. Manila Ice Cream, I got 10 on a company fishing trip a month from today. We will gladly try those Eddie bombs for you. There you go, man. Definitely want to give that a try. And Daniel says 6480 to 10F 400 fishing iron.
Yep.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
Those are all good.
Yes. Tyler Tanaka says, don't tell fish stories where the people know you. But never tell them where they know the fish.
No, he's tired. You know,
Can you read that again, please?
It is later over there where he's at in Tennessee.
Wait, no, it's
so he
me,
might be
isn't it?
sleepy. No, I think
It's him?
Yeah, it's something.
Well, wait, let me do this one more time because I'm going to concentrate.
Don't tell
fish stories where people know you, but never tell them where they know the fish. Wait, I think that makes some sense somehow.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it over chicken wings.
Let's move on, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. Try to get to the wings now. Mike Krinkovich, I'm sure will have an inane comment here. Okay, so tell me a good fishing story with a point or a hook. Maybe I'll bite.
Yeah.
That's a good one, I told you. Highliner says, wind,
Wind 'em.
Wind and grind them. That's right. Let's go for find them. That's a good one. Sosa says, have you tried the new Daiwa Saltus Star Drags? Where did he go?
He's right there. So they look like a nice reel for a surface iron rod. By the way, what surface iron rod and blanks do you like? So that Saltus reel, yeah, it's pretty much more of a cosmetic change. They just came out and they look kind of similar to what the old, not old, but the current Saltus level wine reels. It's kind of a more of a shinier gloss finish. So, but yeah, those reels are good. Even the previous models are good as well. As far as what blanks we sell, man, we sell them all pretty much. I mean, we have CalStar, Seeker, United Composites, MHX. Is there anybody else? We got them all. So pretty much anything you want in a surface iron blank, we have.
Mike Krinkovich says, get your tootsies ready for the morning briefing. I will do so, Mike. Cargo 91, Sam, I like that one. Price, please.
If it's the handle there, it's $105.
Richard Hughes says the cranker is deteriorating, and the cranker says the cranker is solid, Chris. pardon me, Chivo Robledo. Best advice I ever got from an old timer: fish don't have hands. If it tugs, set the hook.
What was his name that used to do those seminars? He
was
wrote that book.
Oh, I know who it is. It was Mike. Wasn't it Mike Gardner?
Gardner.
Gardner used to say that. Yeah, Mike
Yes,
Gardner.
I think so.
Yeah, Mike Gardner. He fished. I fished with him in the bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you some wild stories about that
I bet.
guy. That is, yeah, you're right, Chivo. That was Mike Gardner, a great guy. Mike Krinkovich, see Rick, I'm the legit OG, aka the cranker. Thanks, Scott. Tyler Tanaka, some go to church and think about fishing. Others go fishing
Whoa.
to think about God.
Man.
Oh, you're gonna have to write that one down. That is a one that
It's going to put you to sleep.
yeah, pretty much. No, it's a great one. Old school Bimini twist, Albright connection, best for over 100 pound. That's what David says.
All right, David.
Oh my God! You know, I told you I let out a scream at 9:30 when I got out of the
gonna
fair.
happen right now.
I'm gonna let one out here in a
7:30.
second. Yeah. AKA the sack. Any more Humboldt squid being caught? There still are a lot of those things around. You see them down there off Ensenada, some out on the Outer Banks. They're little ones this year so far, like 2-footers. Jorge Bocanegra says free lobster dinner tomorrow. Donde?
right.
Jorge, good to see you,
on
man.
over.
¿Dónde está la langosta? Gratis. Yo quiero. 8 Ball, says Highliner. Who invented the Palomar knot?
Mr. Palomar.
Mr. Palomar did, of course. Richard Hughes says, you want me to end this, don't you? Nothing makes a fish bigger than almost being caught. That's a good one. That's very good.
That's very true.
And the cranker thinks heavy duty, Tyler. Going fishing,
Tyler
you think
moved
about God.
Mike.
Yeah, I guess the idea is you see Mother Nature and all the marbles and everything, and you can't help think about God.
I would say that's pretty true, though.
Right?
That's true.
So you're not making fun. No, that is actually true.
No, that is
right?
actually true, yeah.
Paley's watch theory, like if you find a watch, it presupposes a watchmaker. So you look at all this beauty, it presupposes someone who created it all.
That's right.
All right.
Gotta
Are we
love
out of
it.
here?
I think so.
Yes. All right. Hey, thanks everybody. Where's Mackie when we need him to take us out of this show and put us out of our misery? No. Hey, it's been great, everybody. Thanks for joining Sam and I. Before we go, Sam, Island Fishing Tqckle, where are you? How can people find you? And when are you open?
So 21809 Avalon Boulevard in the city of Carson. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6.
4,000 square feet, too.
And we're a giant 4,000 square foot building here. We have everything you need, saltwater, broad building, a little bit of freshwater, inshore, surf fishing, everything you need, man. We got it here.
All right, and Zach came in with his fiance tonight, and their reaction is a reaction that I say all the time. Whoa, what a store. Morning briefing tomorrow morning, bright and early. Let's see, Tyler Tanaka, love you all. Have a great night, everybody. Wayne Berg says time for wings.
Yeah,
and
Wayne.
the cranker finishes us off tonight. And in the end, the love you make is equal to the love you take.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good night, everybody.
I think it's